Hello everybody, and we are here back for another episode 2 of YouthZone Bray, and we want to thank everybody that listened on YouTube over the past 3 or 4 weeks at this stage, and in the first couple of days we had over 300 views, which was phenomenal, and we are really happy with that. Anybody wants to contact us, we are at youthzonebray@gmail.com. I am back in our makeshift studio with my co-host Dermot O'Brien, alongside the returning Sean O'Connell, Sean O'Brien, Jake Pear, and joining us for the first time on today's episode on the podcast, Mr. Aaron King. Aaron, you're very welcome to the podcast. Tell us a bit about yourself, age, school, hobbies.
I'm 16. I'm in transition year up in St. Killian's, and don't know, I like a lot of sport. And
you kind of recently took up Muay Thai, didn't you?
Yeah, I've only been at it for like 2 weeks though.
But you're enjoying it when you're getting stuck in.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Amazing. I'm going to pass to Daisy. Daisy had the idea for this episode, and it's about people we admire. Daisy, you just want to tell our viewers, listeners, a little bit about it and where it came from?
How's it going, everyone?
Hi.
Pause there. So, right, I spend a lot of time talking to youth workers or people out there who have views about questions about what are young people doing, what's influencing young people these days. Some people would be critical. If I actually went onto Google today, I went to the news section, right, and I looked up, let's say, if you were searching in the news for teenage lads, here's what literally the stories are saying. 12-year-old boy brutally beaten in a park by a man and teenagers. Parenting teenage boys in the age of online influencers. Woman assaulted after intervening in theft of scooter from teenage boys. Teenage boys climb into a dryer at a drive-in laundromat. Is there a pattern across all them stories? They're all negative.
It's all talking
It's all negative. So I thought it'd be deadly to chat with you about, well, who are you? What influences you? What are you taking from that's around you, that's in history? What are the influences for real? Like, how do we talk about young people and what influences them without talking to young people about what influences them?
That's deadly. So what we did was we asked the lads in preparation to think of somebody they admire or look up to or are inspired by. And I'm going to go to a person that's just taking a drink out of his drink over there and putting it back on the table and trying to keep it all on the QT. Sean O'Brien, tell us about you. Who inspired you? Who do you look up to and why?
I think I look up to Conor McGregor a lot because of, like, he came obviously from a rough part in Dublin, and what he's done with his life. He worked. He's a plumber, like, and just he had no one to look up to. He wanted to be the person to look up to. Like, he had to work it all for himself. There was never an Irish man in the UFC, so, like, he kind of had to prove out to everyone that he was going to be the Irish person. Like, I know now he's a bit controversial, but I feel in the start when he was first breaking onto the scene, he was very, like, inspirational and motivated a lot of people to get into sports or combat sports. Yeah.
So it's the story you kind of admire. Is it a guy that came from not having much to being one of the top fighters in the world in his field?
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of young people like that who struggle to chase their dreams?
Yeah, I feel like people just kind of have to go with the flow. What, like, other people are doing, they don't want to, like, try something new, or they don't want to try break into something else because, like, someone might say something to them, or they just, like, the lads are doing one thing. Say the lads are playing football. The lads are playing football, so they want to play football. But, like, I don't see why not, lads. People try out different sports. Like, doesn't matter what it is. You have a dream, go chase it. Like.
Do you think young people are encouraged enough by parents, by society, to go out and do what they want to do and be who they want to be?
No, not really, no. I feel like it comes a lot from parents, but then at the same time, it's like out when you're with your mates, or the lads might say, stop being stupid, like, you're never going to be doing that, you're never going to do this, but, like, it depends who you are yourself. Like, you could be like, I'll go away, I'm still going to do it, like, but, or you can just be like, alright, fair enough to have a point, like.
Deadly. So you're kind of inspired by that story, and again, Sean was fighting last weekend and won his latest fight. Congratulations on that, Sean, and we are all proud of you.
Thanks.
Well done. I'm going to come to Jake. Jake, you kind of struggle with this a little bit on people that you look up to. Stop shaking your hands at me. Who is there anybody in life, Jake, that you look up to or you're inspired by?
No.
No, just a plain no.
I don't know. I think it's too hard to pick. There's so much people that have done a lot, and I don't know.
What kind of person would you be inspired by, Jake? Would it be sports stars? Would it be movie stars?
Something to do with sports.
Sports, yeah. And there's a lot of kind of sports stars out there that influence young people. Sean just mentioned one. Sean O'Connell, you have a big interest in your own country, and you are, you know, a person that loves your country, and I know you're interested in some people, sports-wise and history-wise, that have been involved in Irish history in some way, shape or form. Tell us about people that you, or one person even, that you're inspired by or that you look up to.
I'd say Michael Collins.
Michael Collins is a very significant person in Irish history. Tell us why, Sean.
Because he fought for the country and like built up he got independence first now, and like he done well with what he was doing.
So huge
Like,
figure
I
in
don't know
Irish
how
history.
to explain it.
Mm.
But like there's like when you watch the movie about him and like learn about him, like you can see all like how much he loved the country and all, and how much he wanted like.
And I know just before we came on, we and this is another person, and that's okay. You talked about a sports personality as well. Tell us a little bit about that person.
James McLean.
Yeah.
I like the fact that like he's proud of where he comes from. Like he does, like he gets a lot of hate, but like it's good to see that he stands up against stuff and like say like he gets abuse over not wearing the poppy, you know. Like I like to see that because it shows that he went through the troubles. Like he went through a lot of stuff going on with like the British.
It sounds like you're inspired by his story and his ability to stand up for what he believes in. He's had his story, and no matter what society tries to make him do or feels he should do, he still stands by his own.
Yeah, like I like that he doesn't care what people say about it. Like I like that he's able to stand up to it.
Do you think young people should be more like that? Stand up for what they believe in?
Yeah. Same thing Sean said, like you shouldn't care what people are saying about it.
Daisy, I've known you for many, many years. I know you've lots of influences and lots of people that you do look up to and have looked up to. Give us a little bit of insight.
Being as old as I am, there are so many people in the list of who has influenced me. But I would say
Sean O'Connell.
Sean O'Connell is making his way up the leaderboard.
Same, bro.
Sinead O'Connor is someone who I am very inspired by. Obviously, she's the greatest female singer to ever be produced in Ireland. No question marks. There's absolutely no question marks. But I tell you what I love about Sinead is that she's not, it's maybe similar to the lads, she's not perfect. And she doesn't try to be perfect, but she still puts herself out there. And I think that, I find that very, very inspiring, that people might want her to be a certain way. If she's a celebrity, if she's famous, if she's got a lot of money, she's got to fall in line and be like everyone else in that world. But
yeah, she does what she wants.
She really puts herself in. And even, I think, it makes me sad sometimes she puts herself out there when she's suffering, and she's had a real tragedy in recent years where she lost her son.
Yeah, he only passed not too long ago.
For her to still be producing music, still performing, sharing her gift with the world, I find that very inspiring.
Fair play to her.
Yeah, no, it's a huge personality who lived in Bray for several years as well, did she?
Yeah, she was down sea from, wasn't she?
Yeah. Aaron, I know you introduced yourself. Tell us about people that inspire you, people you look up to.
Hi.
The number one inspiration for me is Katie Taylor, because
she's me auntie.
Just, I don't know, it's hard to describe, Paul, to be honest.
So tell us, just stop there for a second, Aaron. So to our listeners, Aaron is Katie Taylor's nephew. What was it like growing up with Katie around you? And you know, you're obviously close in your family, seeing her train, being around all that.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
It's good actually to like just, you know, be there when because a lot of people don't see the hard work she puts in every day. You know, she doesn't really take days off, so it's good to see it's paying off for her. Like.
Before we come to our second person, Daisy has an online person that we might talk about today, an online influencer. I don't know a whole lot about, but
oh, yeah,
Daisy's prepared. He has the notebook.
Oh, that's not even an iPad. That's a notebook.
And the personality that we're going to talk about is
The
Andrew
top
Tate, and I'm going to pass over to Daisy now.
So, yeah, I made some notes. I went and did a little bit of research myself, Paul. Again, this keeps coming up around the youth work world in education, and people are wondering what's happening to young lads. I don't know if anything's happening to young lads, but there's a team out there which is suggesting that Andrew Tate, who is a very prominent and well-known influencer, is having a negative influence on, in particular, young men. So I keep hearing that, but I haven't talked to any young people about Andrew Tate. So I don't know. I don't know what your views of him are. I don't know whether you've seen... I can see some people making symbols with their hands there, so you must know.
No, it's not a symbol now. It's just the way he holds his hands.
And but there's something behind that. That the way that's there's a power. Or
I'm not part of his clan.
You're in.
I swear.
So yeah, I thought it would be interesting to ask young people what does he. So do you admire Andrew Tate? Does he have influence over young people? Is he someone to be admired? If I said again, I looked up online and here's some of the things that came out. Andrew Tate believes that women belong in the home and are a man's property. Andrew Tate is suspected of being involved in human trafficking and organised crime, and he's the king of toxic masculinity.
So
go on, tell us who is he to ye? Who's Andrew Tate?
we don't really give rats about him.
Like, yeah, it's just like some lads from America or Romania. Like we just share his clips and have a laugh off it. Like it's
He's
no one
funny
really
enough.
cares,
Like,
So there's entertainment in it.
yeah, but like people are taking things out of context as well.
Go on.
Like he's not all just bad. Like there's clips on TikTok and all you see, where like people are just cutting it off at certain points to make him look bad as well. If you can. But like he's a bit of a fool as well, isn't he?
Yeah, say there's some things that he says that is true, but
There's some stuff that like is wrong to say. Like
he talks about coming like from young with nothing to have, poor, and then coming up with all this money. But the way he made his money is what everyone tries to like say
Come down
he's
for him.
crime and all that. Like.
And he was a kickboxer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
two-time world champion in kickboxing. Yeah.
So again, there's a part of his story where he didn't get that by just turning
Yeah.
up.
No, he does a few good things he says, but then I think like the bad things he drags it out like.
Yeah.
So like he makes people like look at him. If that makes sense, like he's making
Yeah.
people like.
I feel like he's
view him,
doing it so he can get like
views or
and
whatever.
all.
Yeah, but
So what's his goal? What's his ultimate goal?
He's just trying to get as famous as he can
Yeah, like
and
he's
just get
not-
as much money. I'd say.
Money.
he kind of just
Yeah.
blew up in the last like 5-6 months. Like no one really knew him before that.
Yeah, we hadn't a clue who he
Yeah.
was. I even blocked him on TikTok because you saw annoying coming up on my For You page. But I'm not even messing. But yeah, people are taking some of his stuff out of context, but then there is some stuff that he's saying that's just wrong.
Yeah, so if we wonder about some of the stuff he does, so we talk about his businesses. He's in jail at the moment. He didn't get bail today, the day we're recording this podcast, which means that there's a case there against him. But is it true or possible that young people are being influenced by this guy?
Now I feel like seeing a lot now on like Instagram and Facebook or TikTok and Snapchat. Like it's they're all saying like they're influencing young lads, but like I don't see any influence. Like we just have a laugh off him. Like he's just send these clips around or whatever.
Yeah, I think people are just trying to do that to make him look bad as
Yeah,
well.
but none of us are going out like fucking like bullying girls or like just saying
Yeah,
this
going
massive,
over
like,
to a
making
girl,
it
punching
seem
the
that they're,
face
like-
off her.
Right, that's interesting. So your view of women, let's say, is not no matter how many clips you see of him saying certain things that are controversial or misogynistic, all the words they use to describe him having a hatred for women, none of that would ever influence
No.
you on your view.
Just say if he hated women, we wouldn't be going after them. No fairness now, would he? If you hated
Yeah,
girls,
exactly.
would you be going after them?
Is there
He
something
wouldn't.
about how he treats them?
I don't know. Like people are saying things
I think
like,
that's just something
about
he does
him.
in front of a camera.
Yeah, he does
Make
it in front
himself
of the
look
camera.
like that,
I think
like.
he's grand. Normally, I'd say.
There's like plenty of girls that come out and said like they've like went on like dates or whatever with him, and he's like he's real nice, but like when
Yeah.
the camera comes on, he just makes himself look like
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
a fool. Like, but
I
then,
do the same to make that money that he's making. Like,
Is
Sure.
that what it is? Is it like a
Yeah.
mask for him to make money?
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
So he went around saying it was all like you making money off online classes and all that, but it wasn't, obviously.
Is that okay for someone to be like that online and as a way of making money? Like, if out of 100 young people, one lad goes off and decides that this is how I'm going to treat my girlfriend, I'm going to assault her, I'm going to do things.
It's obviously not right, but like if you're making money a good way, you may as well do it. I'm
Yeah, but
saying
it's not a
nothing
good
bad
way
with
he's making it though. He's not making
it. I
money in
know,
a good
but it
way.
is like Finn's a millionaire.
Yeah, I know he's a millionaire, but look at the way he's made his money. He's locked up now. He's not to spend it on.
Yeah, but
Well, I
like,
feel-
there's
I feel
talks
like-
about it that they're just trying to get him off the internet, man.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they're-
'Cause there was-
he's exposing like the government too much, so like
Yeah.
they're trying to like, but he said everything that he's done to him so far. Like, he's predicted it. Like he said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're gonna try cancel me on every social media.
That's what he said.
did. They said if I get arrested soon, it's because they're trying to set me up.
And then he said they're gonna.
If he dies, they'll say he committed suicide.
But they just believe
He
I'll
said
never
he'd never
commit
commit
suicide.
suicide.
Like,
Which makes him either
That's dangerous.
genius marketing guru or yeah, maybe he knows something. I was reading today that the way he set up his business, so he has an online business where it's, again, some people would call it exploitation of women. So there's a story, one of his lawyers said the hardest thing about defending him in court will be all the things he said on the internet that you was talking
You have
about.
to look at them properly, I'd say, though.
Yeah.
Because there might be some things that he has said that's bad, and that's fair enough. But you have to look at everything properly.
Yeah, there is some things he said
But, like,
that is proper true. Like,
He said it like they're trying to get him in. Like, I don't know if it is true or not, but I reckon it is. Like, he's predicted most of it, and like they're trying to say human trafficking, saying that some girl was saying that she was kidnapped and on the house. But then there's like CCTV of your one going out and getting food and all outside, and she could have ran off, but they're not showing that or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's not a good
you
situation.
can't believe it. Like, you can't believe everything
you can't
you
just
see online
believe one
unless
side
you're
of the
there.
story.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless you actually know that it happened, then
So
Yeah,
then,
unless
I believe it.
if there's a trial, like, there's no reason why he shouldn't. Like, if there's a case to be answered, then he has to answer the case.
There's
Is that
no
fair?
doubt he's gonna get arrested. Like, for it.
Yeah,
He's gonna
he
get
will.
like guilty or not guilty. He's gonna get it done to him anyway. But
Right.
like, you don't know what to believe. I think that like it could be.
yeah, you
there's
can't
thoughts
believe
in
that.
my head,
Yeah,
like where there's like they are setting him up to get him off everything,
yeah, and
and then
there's
there's things
thoughts.
that like he's just actually did all this stuff. Like,
Do you think he's a case to answer?
what you
What?
mean?
Do you think through all he said online that there is court cases for him and he deserves to be in court, or do you think it's just
Like, that's what,
You can't
online,
believe everything that
talking
someone says,
the
though.
crap he talks, and it's just caught up with him?
It's like, but if you think of it, like, it's just like basically trash talking. You see.
no, it's not really.
I know,
Like,
but
if-
it is, man. You're just doing that for the
if all that
cameras.
stuff he done is true, yeah, he deserves to be locked up. But like, if that's all just something said to make him look bad so he can get locked up, I doubt he shouldn't be. Like,
Yeah,
I feel they're trying
you have to
get rid of
have
him,
like proper
Yeah.
evidence and all. Like, they can't just say, "Oh, because you said something off TikTok." Like,
you know.
I don't know though.
it's a bit hard to believe. But
Do you reckon, or Andrew Tate, what's it bring up for you? Do you have any opinions on him?
He's
my idol.
that's my second person.
He's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah.
There's a lot kind of out there that he's done and said. Do you reckon there'll ever be answers, Daisy? I mean, we're that little bit older than the lads. Do you reckon it'll ever, in court, do you reckon he will end up in, I know he's arrested today and he's in jail for the moment, do you reckon it will be a long-term thing for him where he will spend many years locked up?
I don't think he'll get to live the lifestyle that he's lived up to this point. I think he's been,
Yeah.
dancing with danger and manipulating the world in a way that I think anyone who's driven by the desire to get more and more money, and anyone who likes power to the extent that he does, I think is going to take risks. I think if there's a suspicion around his behaviour, if there's women coming out saying this is what happened to me, then they have every right to have their day in court as well. So, and what I wonder is in general, then you are talking about you come across him on your feeds and your socials, but so it's not that you go on and go looking for his content; it just appears.
Nah, it just
Yeah.
shows up.
Shows
Yeah, because
Like,
so many
actually-
people are looking at him. Like, it's gonna be hard not to see him on your phone.
Like on every social media platform, like it's.
Oh,
Andrew
he's
Tate,
like
Andrew
he's
Tate,
one of the most
Andrew Tate.
famous people in the world on
the
social
moment,
media
yeah.
at the moment. Like,
If you had little brothers or little sisters, how would you feel? I know some of you do. How would you feel about Andrew Tate popping up on their feed?
Depends on what he's talking
Like,
about.
since we're a
If
bit
they're
older
very
and
young,
sensible,
yeah.
like, we know it's just like kind of an act, but they're younger and they're going
That's
like
where it
watching
mainly come from.
24/7.
They're
Like,
younger and they haven't a clue. They just believe everything they hear.
yeah, literally, yeah.
So would that concern you if you had little brothers
Yeah.
or sisters
Yeah.
seeing that on their Insta or whatever?
So what I'm hearing then is that you and people need to respect the fact that you're capable of knowing whether something is
Wrong or right.
or that it's trying to influence you or not, or whether it goes into your head and makes you turn into something different than what you are. That type of power doesn't exist over you.
I don't think they can just say that it's influencing us if they don't actually know if it is or not.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that they know that it is influencing us or whatnot. Like, they're stupid. No, but in all fairness, man. In all fairness, though, they can't just say that it is if they don't know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Do you think it's all based on views?
What do you mean?
Like he says he's influencing people because he's whatever number of million views on a video or TikTok.
No,
or
'cause
whatever he puts up.
It's not like it's weird to explain. It's not him like it's obviously him creating the content, but
But
he's not the one sharing. Like it
It's
gets
other
shared.
people.
it's a, he,
Like,
Other
it gets
people
other
like
names.
sharing it and then making it into like cutting the
Clips,
videos and making it seem like you're saying something when they don't like
Like
record
he
the whole
does
thing.
podcasts like this, but like people are cutting that down and
Maybe
clipping
just
it
a
and
bit
clipping
better
it and
than
clipping it. Like
Make
he's
them
not the
seem
one. Like,
yeah.
like he hasn't got a YouTube channel to like post all this stuff on. Like
he
And
won't be
he
allowed on
relies
YouTube,
it,
no.
People
Sharing it.
reposting and sharing. But if a teacher hears someone crack a joke about Andrew Tate or talk about Andrew Tate in a classroom, is that where some of this is coming from, or someone saying, "Oh, Andrew Tate's been talked about in my classroom," and then it just explodes into that's it. Everyone's following him, and everyone believes everything he says. And
Yeah, I'd say so.
I was talking about him today
go on.
in the class.
Really?
Yeah.
Love him so much.
And can't say the teacher's name obviously, but
Yeah.
she was just going mad saying she doesn't like him at all and
So that's
hates him and all.
that's a good example. So someone's straight away telling you what to think, that you shouldn't. So you shouldn't talk about him. You shouldn't consume his content. Is that going to stop you from doing that?
But obviously not, because he's gonna be all over your phone. Like you're gonna see him eventually.
Yeah.
But since I've noticed, like since he got arrested, he hasn't been as much like.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing been coming up of him like.
The only thing I've seen is about him being arrested.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
Andrew Tate's in court. Andrew Tate this. Like it's not like as constant anymore. Like
Yeah.
So would the world miss him if you didn't see one more post?
couldn't care to be
No.
honest.
See, the thing is,
Couldn't care at all.
see,
care,
like, you could talk about it in school all you want before he got locked up. I say like, since
Yeah,
anyone talked
same,
about
yeah.
it now, since he's locked up, none of the teachers when you talk about it, no one wants to hear about him. So like, I think him getting locked up changed everyone's mind about what to think of him.
Yeah.
Because there was a few people that were saying, oh, they like him and all that.
If he wasn't that
not gonna say
famous,
names, but they were saying they liked him, and then they changed their mind then when he got locked up.
You obviously have a friend circle with girls in as well. Do you think girls think the same as lads? Obviously,
No.
you're a group of lads. But
no,
girls
they
No.
think
They
the
just, like,
same thing. They
So
hate him
he's
as well.
he's real negative about girls, so like
Yeah.
they just like hate him. But
Then again, that was like some people are being too sensitive about it as well. Like I know some of the stuff
Yeah,
he's
but
saying
like,
bad,
if he
but
was
like
if he was saying that about lads, we'd be going mad too. If you think about it.
we can do nothing about it. Like I could not care. Like.
like if you can't do anything about it, don't get annoyed about it. But like
Fair
in all fairness, like you shouldn't be so sensitive now. Like everyone's gone so sensitive about anything.
Yeah, and that's and some of that is that like people's beliefs and what influences them. If it's not causing harm, then is it stuff that we need to tell people to stop? Like
What do you mean?
if someone has a view at that, like
If
if I went around the room and said, "What religion are you?" and then I said, "Well, why are you that religion? You shouldn't be that religion. You've not."
Yeah.
No,
that
but I
religion."
think
Or
religion's
if that's
different
your,
though.
If I believe that there are 4 genders, 5 genders, is that harmful to the world?
Yeah.
Insofar as you should stop me from talking.
But I
that
just think
way.
it's stupid
No,
though,
but
because
Yeah,
That's your
but like,
view, yeah.
Like
it's
the
obviously
religion-
scientific.
religion
that-
actually exists. Like not
What does it?
like,
It's a
but like
it's
it's
constructed,
gone. Like religion is cemented. Like it's there. Everyone knows religion. Like, but
Yeah.
you can't you can't
can't
identify as a
change-
dog. Like
Yeah.
it just
You
doesn't
can't
make sense. It's not
change that,
realistic.
Like, that's
You can't just make
scientific.
up your own religion out
So
of
you-
nowhere, like
that's
stand
what I
there
was
and
gonna say.
on this
Well,
and
if
on
people
that.
learn to follow you, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you'd be
Fair enough.
classified as
Andrew
crazy.
Tate is
Yeah.
going strong.
Not
Andrew
anymore.
Tate's
is
me
it?
God.
Just going back to are you saying that?
Across Andrew Tate's face on it.
Are you kind of saying that people can't make up genders as they go along and everybody should respect it? Is that what you're saying?
No, like you should have a bit of respect about it, but like I think it is a bit stupid that you're doing that. Like
Mm.
And should we shut it down or be a bit open to?
I don't think they should be as sensitive about it. Like
Okay.
all this cancel culture. Say if you said anything, like you said gay, and someone goes book roll you over, like you can't just do that over me saying that. Like there's no such thing as freedom of speech anymore.
Right. Because your opinion, your view.
Yeah, you
sets
can't
it
have an
for everybody.
opinion anymore because there's too many like people that are so sensitive about it.
Mm.
Like you can't speak your mind.
That's the lads you days. Across youth work, do you see much of that? I mean, I'm based in this area and I love what I do, but you work in it with a lot broader.
We're gonna be killed out of this
groups
podcast,
than-
but stop. We're gonna be killed on this.
Across the youth work field, if you like, how does the lads' views fit?
What I would say, so I'm very lucky. I get to meet every type that you could describe in this room. I've met them. I've worked with them. I've spent good times with them. So I'm lucky, and I think it's who are you talking? That's the highlight of my week. And a quote that always jumps out for me is that and I'm not saying that anyone has any hate for anyone else, but there are people out there as well who would tell you who's to blame for all the troubles of Ireland, and we won't go down that. Maybe it's another podcast, but for me, there's a quote that's very important, and it says, "It's hard to hate people close up." So if you know someone and you get to spend time with them, it's hard then to just hate, because we're all people who have our own interests, and if you spend enough time with someone, you'll find out where you have a connection or what you have in common or what you both like, and that will grow. It's easy to talk about people who are far away or people you don't have to meet
Listen to.
daily. So I think the more opportunities, if you all next week get a chance to go and travel around Europe on a train, all paid, all expenses, you would meet different people from all different countries with different interests, and you come back happy, curious, you'd be more wise to the world, you'd enjoy it, and I think your views might change a little bit. So there's something about getting out there as well.
Yeah, sure. We only have multicultural day.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
that looked brilliant.
It's good.
But how was the day overall? Was it worth doing in school?
Yeah,
it
was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
What was that thing with capoeira?
Capoeira, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of
Brazilian.
that, and then there was face painting, trying all the foods. What else was there? Was it?
We listened to some girl play music.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to be doing it, but we
music from all
listened
the
to it.
countries, not like it was alright.
There's been a lot in this episode. I think we better wrap this one up.
I have one more question.
Go on, go
Yeah,
for it.
keep it going.
Yup.
Has anyone in this room bought and consumed a bottle of
Prime hydration.
Prime?
How do you know?
Lads.
No,
I
I
got a
haven't.
cap
I wouldn't
full.
waste
Tried
money.
it. I've tried it.
I got a cap full.
Yeah.
I've seen her at Aaron. One of the junior lads are playing football on Friday. So can I take you that first? You can have a cap full. That's about all you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's
I've
£15.
tasted it.
Yeah,
Never
stop
bought
them
it.
off.
I won't buy it either.
Yeah.
The only way I buy it is if it was €2 in centre.
It is nice though.
Is
Is
it?
it?
Yeah, it is
Which
nice.
flavours? There are two flavours?
I think
Oh,
I had
there's
the
about
green.
five. Yeah.
I had the green or the blue one.
I had the grape flavour.
The blue one.
It's nice, but it's
Yeah.
not
How'd you get your hands on it, Pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Do you
Like
do
Monster's
you buy it?
better.
No,
Oh.
no.
So
Yeah, Monsters.
Go on,
Yeah.
tell me why, because my son who's 12, so his peers, he was up in the shop there around the corner, and his friend paid €15. Go on.
He didn't even like it.
Tell me give it to me, so.
But why? How does it happen that a young person is willing to spend €15?
Because it's just
Because
who
it's
makes it.
Yeah, it's
Just
Yeah.
the
from
two
the
YouTubers
creators.
who make it. Everyone
YouTubers.
just.
That's
It's
influence,
like
isn't
merch.
it?
Yeah.
Like it's
How's
like
that
their
work?
merch, but
Is it because of their age? Is like who's buying it? Are people your age buying that?
No, it's
No.
younger.
No.
Like people like watching all the influencers on YouTube and all that. Like, I don't
we
know.
still want though, boys. I still
Yeah.
want to try it. Like I'm dying to
Yeah.
try the hourglass.
Yeah, don't have to try it. That's
like
like
in central.
that's the example there. You don't have to try it, but like. It's
I
not
won't
worth-
pay
it's not
that
worth
much.
€15 just to
No.
try something. Like.
Like boys gone really over.
And
Prime
they're
hydration.
making billions off it.
Yeah, like
UFC just signed their deal now. They're the new
Yeah.
Yeah.
for it, like,
I'd say they're
And
making
Arsenal,
millions off
they
that.
sponsor Arsenal.
Yeah,
Arsenal,
Arsenal's
UFC,
actual drink,
WWE.
So they be
Matches.
selling that Prime stuff at UFC events.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Guaranteed it's not
say
gonna
the
be
you
€15
said.
that
Yeah.
you're 20 or
Do you
20.
hear
You
this?
know,
No,
Bruce
it was
Buffer,
sponsored,
the
so
announcer.
Yeah.
He's not going to be saying like from
They
the
changed the
fighting out of the red
corners.
corner,
It's not
fighting out
blue or
of
red
the
corner.
fighting out of the red prime hydration zone, fighting out of the blue
boys, I
prime
think all them
hydration zone.
sponsorships ruin stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like it's
Yeah.
ruining UFC.
Yeah, but I see you're saying that now, but you've seen that on TikTok or something like that. You never know if that's true.
Yeah, it could be wrong, but you never know.
Well, they are signed with the UFC.
Yeah,
Like.
I know
Yeah,
there's
so-
some UFC, but you never know what about their corners.
Possible
Like.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is possible because have you seen there like whenever they're talking, your man John Anik, do you know the way he does so much like promotion? And that?
Yeah.
This is sponsored by Monster, something,
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and then like he'll say now back to the fight. Like
That's what the
Like,
word gets
yeah.
around though, like about Andrew Tate and all that. People talk about it in different ways. Like, for example, Paul hadn't a clue about Andrew Tate before we started talking here. What do you think about him now from what we were saying?
I thought everything that you said from what I read was going to be negative.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a balance. You're saying, well, if stuff gets taken out of proportion, and you need to look deeper into what he's saying. And I do get you are saying that he has a much different effect on lads than girls. So I will be going home to read up more about Andrew Tate. I think it's been quite intriguing, and thank you to everybody who took part today. So we wrap this.
oh, that was smooth.
We might try
That
was-
and get another episode in here while we're all together real quick. But thanks a million to my co-host Dermot, Daisy O'Brien, Sean O'Connell, Jake Pear, Sean O'Brien, Aaron King. Any thoughts, feedback, youthzonebray@gmail.com. Please keep liking, sharing, supporting what we do. It's amazing to get young people's voices out there and heard and we thank you for joining us. We'll be back with another episode real soon. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you real soon.